Longtime viewers of the channel know that I love Kylo Ren with a capital L. He is one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time, and actually falls right behind Ahsoka and Boba Fett. But I'm not gonna lie, recently on TikTok, I've seen a lot of Kylo slander, and it's kind of getting to me a little bit. So I wanted to make this video because, one, I'm making a Kylo Ren cosplay from The Force Awakens. That is my Halloween plans for this year, as well as kind of speak in a bit of a rebuttal against what I'm seeing on TikTok. So before we get super deep into the character stuff, I just want to talk about the overall looks. Kylo looks freaking dope, especially the Force Awakens look, the Rise of Skywalker look with the cracked helmet and all that. Actually got it right here. Star Wars costumes have always struck that balance between having a good amount of simplicity, but also having a lot of detail. And I think that is accentuated in Kylo's look, especially in the Force Awakens version, where he just has the cloak, he's got the texture on the fabric, but the main focal point is gonna be that helmet with that chromed out and all the little details in the cheeks, as well as that lightsaber. And it's because of the simplicity of his robes that the first things that you think of are his helmet and his saber. Just, ugh, so menacing. Now getting into the character stuff and the things that really pushed Kylo to be one of my favorites of all time, and actually when the sequels were coming out, this slight obsession began. I just found Adam Driver's acting and portrayal of Ben Solo to be so interesting and complex, and the conflict between light and dark was just, I feel, portrayed in a way that we've never seen before in Star Wars. I love Anakin Skywalker. He's actually my fourth favorite character of all time, but I just think that Adam Driver, I think he does a better job of portraying that conflict. Absolutely no hate towards Hayden Christensen. I love that man. I just think Adam Driver is a more talented actor. And a common question that I see, and I do think that the sequel trilogy is slightly to blame for this, but people don't really seem to understand why Kylo turned to the dark side. And yeah, you have to do a little bit of digging. You gotta read a little comics to get the nitty-gritty details, but oh my goodness, it's so fascinating and unlike anything we've ever seen before. One of the coolest things about Star Wars and the generational storytelling that it has is that there are very clear similarities between the characters of the past and the characters of the present. As we know from the prequels, Anakin falls to the dark side because of his attachments, and for Kylo Ren, it's quite the opposite. It's Kylo's lack of attachment that ends up pushing him towards these selfish desires and ultimately giving into them. Han and Leia were always busy rebuilding the New Republic, Leia being a senator and soon to be a general in the Resistance, and Han trying to do his part but ultimately falling back into smuggling. Didn't leave a whole lot of time for Ben to have a good father-mother relationship, with his parents always being busy, focusing on the New Republic and ultimately the Resistance. You can understand why Kylo wants to destroy that. To him, that is his rival for love from his parents, from attention from his parents. Kylo grew up a loner. He didn't have a lot of friends. He didn't have any, really any parents to play with and give him attention, because they were so busy rebuilding the galaxy and doing all the important things that they forgot to look at the little things, like their son. So what did they do? They sent him off to train with Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker has very similar issues. He has 20 other students to train, and Ben was so powerful because of his bloodline that he didn't want to play favorites. So he would purposefully, give attention to other students, and Ben again felt alone. And in that, Ben gained all sorts of strange emotions towards the people that were supposed to love him and care for him. He got angry and this ego, because he knew that he was more powerful than all the other students, but for some reason, Luke wasn't giving him the time of day. He would check in on him, be like, hey, how's it going? But then leave, and Ben just didn't feel appreciated. Enter Snoke. Snoke was that refuge for Ben. He gave him attention. He gave him power. He taught him new things. And while it was fulfilling Ben's selfish desires, it also gave him a sense of purpose, which was something that not his mother, father, or uncle could give him. Ben always felt like a burden to Luke, Han, and Leia. Snoke made Ben feel important and strong. I find it so fascinating that Anakin's push to the dark side was because he was too attached to the ones that he loved, to Padme, to Obi-Wan, to Ahsoka, to Rex. Those attachments allowed Palpatine to manipulate him in whatever way he wanted. Where for Ben Solo becoming Kylo Ren, Snoke used his lack of attachment to control him. Hey, these people don't love you. They don't want to pay any attention to you. I will give you that, and I will give you more power and not let you hold back. You can do whatever you want. Through Ben Solo / Kylo Ren, we are able to see what the dark side of the Force can do to a good person by using the light. Anakin was always mistreated and always misrepresented by the Jedi Order. He wanted to give and care for people, and the Jedi only cared about their politics. Ben wanted family. He wanted connection to the people that he loved, and instead, they were too busy. They made him feel like he was something that wasn't worth their time. So Ben falls into this selfish cycle of trying to please himself, trying to fill that void of loneliness by crushing others and taking that from others. And before you know it, Ben Solo is caught in the cycle of the dark side, the always self-oppressing cycle of the dark side. He was trapped. Enter Rey. Rey was very similar to Kylo Ren. Rey had nothing. Rey was everything that Kylo felt like he was. Rey also had the approval of Han and Leia, which only further infuriated Kylo Ren, therefore pushing Kylo even darker and further down the path of the dark side. And I feel like I don't have to go any further. I feel like that's, the rest is in the movies. You guys have seen them. But I just think that iteration and portrayal of a victim on the dark side has just never been seen or done before. And I think that combined with Adam Driver's acting just creates a beautiful character. Yes, the sequel trilogy has its problems. It has its flaws. But we have to admire the greatness that is Kylo Ren's character. So that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys learned something about Kylo Ren. I've spent a lot of time researching his character and trying to understand him on a deeper level. And throughout that time of research, he's become one of my favorites of all time. He looks great. He just has that to him, you know what I mean? And I love the temper tantrums. I love his insecurities. I love his design. I love everything about him. Let me know your thoughts on Kylo Ren in the comment section down below. Do you love him? Do you hate him? Do you really care? I always find this stuff fascinating. So yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching this video. And as always, may the Force be with you.